Hey Terraformers, welcome back as we continue on with our implementation of the custom Terraform provider. Definitely something that is not easy to do, but I think it'll be very rewarding. Again, if you are struggling with this, you can just copy and paste it and put it in your code base, tag it correctly, and just do your best to try to understand it. If you can follow along step by step, that is going to be the best for you. But I just want to show you what it's like building something when you don't know how to actually 100% do it. I've of course done it before, but I don't remember how 100% works. And so I'm filling the gaps and trying to reload my mind on what we've done here. But anyway, we were able to compile the binary successfully, and it should, we actually didn't test our bash script. So that's something I would like to do now. I'm noticing down below that I'm in main. So I want to make sure I'm in the branch. If you are continuing on, then you can just switch branches here with me right now. So what was the name of that branch? The branch is called 47 Terraform Providers. I'm just going to grab the name wherever I can. And I'm just going to do git check out this branch. Okay, I'll do git pull just in case. We're all okay here. I'm back in the working branch that I want to be. You do not want to be in main. So what do we want to do here? Well, we have the binary compiling. It's not going to be very useful for us unless we can include that provider. I think what we want to do is be able to configure the provider. So we don't have any resources, and that might be okay. But let's go look at the code. So in the main code, we have that hello world, which is not very useful. We have the schema provider, which should merge declaration with assignment on the next line. Here they're just saying that we could do this, and then we don't have to do that. There's some cases for not merging them. That doesn't mean that we should always take its suggestion. I'm going to leave it alone because I don't want to fiddle with that and find that it doesn't work later. But here we haven't defined any resource or data sources. I'm not sure if we even need to define data sources in this project, but we'll definitely be describing a resource map. But for now, we have enough to probably define the provider. Let's make sure that our bash script works, the one that we wrote up here, which is the build provider, and see if it works. So let's make sure that we are in the root of our project. I'll do this from another directory. So here, I think we're at the root of our project directory. Good. And I'm going to type in, well, I'm going to chmod that just in case we didn't last time. Build provider, chmod bin, build provider, and we're going to go ahead and type in bin build provider, and we'll hit enter and see if it works. Already seeing errors. Errors. Cannot stat Terraform RC. So there must be a mistake here. Did any of it work? Oh, there's a spelling mistake right here. Whoops. Okay, so that's definitely a spelling mistake. I'm going to try that again. And we will carefully, if it's not working for you, you can run each line by line to figure out where the problem is. I think that might have been my only problem. So here it says mkdir not found. It's because it's mkdir. That's also another spelling mistake. Okay, we'll hit enter. And so it's produced this file here, which is fine, and we're ignoring it. This should not be here. This is kind of a weird directory. So, I mean, in a sense, this is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to go in Terraform D, but it's not supposed to make it here. So it's literally trying to create the folder tilde. That is interesting. So what I'm going to delete is just delete this permanently, because that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see where tilde goes. So tilde goes here, pwd. It goes to home git pod. So instead of doing tilde here, I'm just going to type in home git pod. It'll go up here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll say home git pod. And that way we won't have any weird side effects here, okay? And we'll just type in clear. And I'm going to go ahead and run the provider again, bin build provider. No such. Oh, right, I'm not where I think I am anymore. So we'll go here, do workspaces, workspace, Terraform. We'll type in clear here. And we'll go ahead and try this again. We'll type in bin build provider, yep. And no errors this time, which is good. It didn't dump anything in the wrong place. The question is it in this directory? So that's what we're gonna have to find out. So we'll type in clear and we'll say home, git pod, Terraform D, plugins. Actually, we can just list it out like this, ls. And we have local providers. So I'm gonna go into local providers, list it out. I'm gonna go into local and list it out. I'm gonna go into Terratowns and list it out. I'm gonna go into 1.0 and list it out. And I'm gonna go into any of those. And there it is. So it is working as we expected, which is perfect. So that's one part of the solution. The other part of it is that now that we have it, the library built out, we want to now configure it in our Terraform. So we do have this here. I want us to just ignore this for the time being, and we're just going to comment this out so we can just focus on configuring our provider. We will have to specify our provider in our project. We'll probably have to do it up here. So let me just go look at how we do that in the code. So I do not recall. And so yeah, we'll have to have a required providers block here. And in here, we'll have to say Terratowns. And we'll have to tell where the source is. So the source is at local providers, local Terratowns. And then the version here is going to be version 100. Okay, so there is our version number. We've required the providers. We're going to go down to the ground here. And well, actually maybe above this one here. And we'll have to specify this provider. And so this provider is called Terratowns. And we'll go here, we'll say endpoint. And so the endpoint is where we want it to point to. If it was the live server, it'd be terraforms.cloud. But this is going to go to our local web server. Remember that we created a mock web server that's running on the local host. I don't know if we need the protocol in front of it, but I'm going to put it in there anyway. It's running on HTTP, not HTTPS. We need a user UID. And we're going to use a mocked one for now because that is what this needs. And we need a token, which is the same thing as the access code, which you'll get in the Teacher Seat Learning platform. So what we're going to need to do here is grab those. And I believe, sorry, a bit dusty in here. I believe that we have those hard-coded in here. We do. So we'll go ahead and just grab these two values and paste them in here. And so we'll use these as our for our mocked one. And so those are the three things that we said that we needed, if you remember, in our main Go file, right? These are in the schema. They're defined here. We can see them in our visualization over here that these are the things that we want. Let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. I'm not sure if we have to do anything else here. We did comment out the context. So again, I made the whole thing and then ran it. So I didn't do this piecemeal, but we will see if it works here without issues. So what I want to do is I want us to run our script to build again because I'll clear everything else, build provider, and then we'll do Terraform init and see what happens. It'll either work or won't work. Let's find out. This is the exciting part. We'll do TF because it's nicer. And I see green, that's really, really good. If you do run into issues, see here, it says error parsing, home, git pod, Terraform, RC, 413 expected indent strength. So it's saying there's a problem with our file here. I can go take a look here. Maybe I made a mistake. It was saying on lines 4. So right here, and I think it's because I'm missing an equals. So we'll save that there. We'll have to run again the build file because that will actually move that file back into its proper location. We'll do Terraform init. And here, it's initializing the provider. It's finding where it's supposed to be. I just want to point out that when you're doing stuff like this, having more log levels will make things a lot easier when making custom Terraform providers. This is also an exam question about log levels. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to do a custom provider, to show you a really good use case for logging. but I'm just going to go look for what that is. So we're going to set the log level to be tf log equals debug. Okay. And so now if we run this again, we should get more information. It didn't show much more. What if we do it here? tf log equals debug. Yeah, so now notice, yeah, we had to put in the front of the line there, but now notice we're getting all this like debug, 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 debug. We're getting a lot more information. So I think what I'll do, so we don't forget about this, I'm going to go into our git pod YAML, and I want to set this for later. So we'll go here, and it'll only work in this Terraform tab. Otherwise, we'll have to manually set it every time. But what I'm going to do is just set, oops, that's not what we wanted. Silly thing. I'm going to go here and we're going to set the debug mode to be this. Okay. And that's going to really aid us. It is a little bit verbose, but it'll get the job done. Okay. And I kind of want this to show up every time without having to run it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to export it. So say Terraform, oops, export. I notice my head's starting to cut this off here. So we'll go here and type in clear. Terraform, or sorry, not Terraform, export tf log equals debug. And we have to type export right for that to work. We'll type in clear. This was the command, by the way. I know I'm typing it really fast. We'll do tf init. And let's just note that we can see debug, debug, debug info, right? So we're seeing all that stuff there. And it tells us additional information. So you can see checking credentials for here, things like that. But when I ran into a lot of problems with this, the Golang stuff, that's where all those logs are going to show up. They're going to show up here, and that's what we want. Anyway, so we have our Terraform provider. It initialized no problem. Let's do a plan. I mean, there are no resources, so I'm not sure what it would do. But let's go see what happens. And we're getting some awesome errors. Not 100% sure why, because we commented out code. We'll go here. Reference to undeclared module. Let me go back over here to main.go. Or not main.go. We want to go to our main TF file here. Main TF. I thought we commented it out. Yeah, this is all commented out, so I'm not sure why it's complaining. It should not pick it up. Interesting. Reference to undeclared variable module Terra House AWS bucket name. Oh, our outputs file. That's why. It's our outputs file. That's our problem. So if we go over to our outputs, we need to comment these out because right now we don't have any outputs, right? There we go. Type in clear. We'll do Terraform plan. We're not getting any errors now. We're getting a lot more information. It's probably easier to read on yours there. Okay. And there are no changes because we don't have any resources. So this so far looks like it's working correctly. Let's go take a look at the Terraform state file and see what it's done to the Terraform state file, if anything. We haven't done a plan or apply, so I mean, we can try Terraform apply and see what happens. It might not do anything. It did generate a state file, so that's great. Let's go take a look at what we have. We have the Terraform version. There are no resources, so there's nothing for it to do. Okay, so until we get a resource in, we're not going to see anything interesting here. But we did fix a bunch of things. So should be able to create a Terraform, able to run Terraform provider block for Yeah, without errors. So I'm going to stop the video here. I know this one's a really short one. What's going on here? We'll say 47, implement Terraform provider block in Terraform. Okay, because I'm just going to try to step this out a bit more so that it's a little bit easier. We'll go ahead and commit that. We'll sync our changes. We're going to go ahead and go over to our repo here. I'm going to make a new pull request. We will go down to the ground and find Terratowns provider 47 because we're using the same branch every time. And we have some conflicts. That's interesting. Why? Oh, because we did not pull. I thought, oh, you know, it's not that we didn't pull. We have to merge main back in here, of course. Okay, sorry about that. It's because I didn't, I just didn't want to launch a new environment here. So all I have to do is do a git clear. We'll do git merge main. And notice that we have some conflicts. That's totally okay. What we'll do is we'll resolve our conflicts. The way we resolve conflicts here is we go to our merge changes, we'll click and we'll look at what it wants. So it's saying that our options are, do we want to keep the bottom or the top? Well, this one is wrong. So we'll take this one out and we'll leave this one in. That one's fine. We'll go to build provider and we know that this old one's no good and we'll keep this one here. So you're just making decisions here. This one's a little bit more different. So I think the bottom one's wrong, yeah, because that has the tilde in it and has that spelling mistake. So we'll take the bottom one out and we'll leave the top one in. I saved the file in place. I'm just going to close the file. And it's saying merging, so I'm going to do git commit. Oh, I have to add them all first, sorry. So we'll add them all, and then I'll type in git commit. And it says merge branch, that's good. So I'll just save this file and then close it. And it should now merge it. If we go over here, we'll take a look at our merge. I know Bootcampers wanted me to do a little bit more of that, like different variations. I don't mean to introduce such complicated stuff here, I just forgot. But notice that main origin comes back over into here. So now if we go back to our pull request, over here, I'm gonna give it a refresh because it probably will be no problem now. Oh, come on, you can do it. Oh, did we push it? Get pushed, that's probably why. There we go. So we'll go back over to here, give it a refresh. Now there's no problem. Great. And we'll go ahead and create that pull request. I'm going to squash and merge. Squash and merge. And we're going to go back over to our code tab here. I'm going to say git checkout main. Git pull. And then the next thing we're going to do is tag this. So we'll do git tag. We're on what? 2.2.0. Git push tags. Okay. And I want to continue work on this. So I'm going to just go git checkout and check out this branch again. It was, what branch? This branch here. Want this branch name, please. Thank you. It really isn't giving me that branch. We'll go here. I just need this branch name up here. And so we switched out to this branch. I'm just going to git merge just in case, git merge main just in case I have to do that. And I'll say save, I'll close this, and then I'll do git push. And so now this is back up with main. If you want, you can stop the video here and come back here. I'm going to keep going, but I'll see you in the next one, okay?